Hi again, and a happy Monday from me and from Gigi, who's actually being good at the moment, but no doubt he's going to ask if he's going to come up and sit on my knee very shortly, which is going to be a bit awkward because I'm going to show you things I've made. I finally stitched together, or crocheted together, all the squares for this, granny square shawl. There's no pattern for it, it's just granny squares. And I've been asked many times how I crochet them together. I don't like a big ridge crocheting them together. So what I do is I do a 3 chain, and then I do a double crochet in my language, single crochet in other people's language, through 2 squares, yeah? That's how I do it all the way across. So it makes, it does make a little ridge on the wrong side, if you can see, a little ridge. But it doesn't make a big thick ridge, and it tends to, fade in nice and open with the squares. As I say, it was made with Lolly's cake yarn. I used two cakes of yarn that faded from almost black into almost white, really. I'll see if I can get it to balance on here, which it probably will not do. But as I say, there's no pattern for it. It's just, you'll find a granny square stitch patterns on everybody's YouTube. It's not going to stay, is it? But still, you know what, it's there. And I like doing them. I like just chumbering along doing them. I like doing them this way as well because there's not that many ends to sew in because you're not changing colours. I've got plans to do things in colours. But if you watch my other video that I've just made, sorry if you don't like that video, but you will understand why I'm not doing any more customs. That's it. This is it'll be one of my last custom orders. I'm making this sweater from this book, which is Curvy Girl Crochet by Mary Beth Temple. If you are a plus size lady, this is the book for you, but actually most of the patterns in here, I know I'm a big girl, they're too big for me. It's not so much that the bust size, but the actual finished measurements are too big for me. There's some quite nice things in it. Let me see if I can find one that I do like. Obviously the scarf would fit any size. You don't have to be a plus lady to wear that. But like things like that, they are quite large. I wouldn't wear that because I've already got a big tummy, and that would just emphasise my tummy. Again, there's some wraps and things that you wouldn't have to have a size for. Just trying to find something that... I mean, there's a traditional cloak, but there would be a heck of a lot of work in that if you were a plus size lady, wouldn't you? And I'm not keen on that because to me, if you're a plus size and you're wearing super chunky, you're not exactly doing yourself much favour, are you? Many favours. Yeah, the poncho is nice, but I've never really made myself a poncho. I don't think I'm a poncho lady. Shawl lady, yes, definitely a shawl lady. And that's a simply striped jacket. It doesn't show the back view of it, but that's the jacket. I mean, I may make some of these things in the future, but I get asked many times, make bigger things for your Etsy shop. And then they don't sell. So again, that's a comfy cardie. So I don't know, whether I'm just wasting my time doing bigger things when they don't sell at all. And then I'm left with them because I don't want any more sweaters for myself, if you know what I'm saying. So, but as I said before, I'm not doing any more custom orders, so whatever comes off my hook, yeah? I suppose that one is okay if you're a big girl. But after I bought this book, I sort of decided, well, I wouldn't wear anything in it anyway. I mean, that, to me, has a really horrible neckline. But don't let me put you off buying the book if you're a big girl. You probably would like anything that's in it, you know. But, I mean, there's no shape to that, is there? There's no flattering. It just is, isn't it? So, as I say, that's... But I've started that sweater. I've had a bit of difficulty with it because you need to keep it straight. It's like little squares and they've got to be above each other. And I was following the way it was written in the pattern. And it's one of those repeat rows 2 to 8, then repeat rows 4 to 6, then repeat rows this. And I thought, it's just simply a two row pattern, although one of the rows is just single crochets all the way across. It's just basically a 2 row pattern. And you decrease in every 4th row to so many stitches. So why they have to tell me in such detail to do this, do it as row 2, do it as row 4, that was throwing me wrong actually. I had to practically unravel everything I did on the Saturday night. So now I've rewritten the pattern in my language, if you know what I mean. With a little piece of paper with all the, you know, I've just put plain pattern, and I've put when I have to do the decreases. And I fully understand that. That's my beef with a lot of the modern patterns. They tell me too much information. Much too much information. So that's what I'm working on at the minute. I'm still working on this as I played Yarn Chicken on Saturday night and lost. So now I've got to take this row, unless I can find something similar, which I don't think I do have. I'm going to have to take not only this row back, but on the side, you know, the side that I've finished, I'm going to have to take that back as well so that the 2 colours match on either side, because I'm picky like that. A close match will not do, yeah? It has to be exact or it goes back, yeah? So I think that might have to change to more of a mustard shade. Because also I need more of what this colour is to finish the sleeves off with and to finish the pockets and the fronts and everything else. Because doing this piece is only like a fraction of the cardigan. This is just like the easy bit, if you know what I mean. This bit, yeah. This kind of bit is the easy bit. It's all the other bits, the sleeves with all the bobbles on, the pockets with all the flowers on, all the edging going round and the back. Oh yeah, this is only a portion. Why I do them I do not know, because there's so much work involved in them, but that's by the by. Anyway, one of my purchases, oh everything's falling on the floor, is Delicate Crochet. 23 light and pretty designs for shawls, tops and more by Sharon Herners Silverman. Once again, it's an Etsy book. Not an Etsy book, what am I talking about? Oh, I'm going stupid here. An Amazon book. But Amazon, it was a pre-order and they didn't get it, they didn't get it. And they eventually said they didn't know when they were going to get it. So I finished up. I cancelled that order and I found it on another, I think it was Book Depository. I think I found it on eventually. I had to pay a little bit more than what I would have had to pay on Amazon, but I wasn't prepared to wait indefinitely, yeah. So, let's have a look what this one is. There's a berry wine wrap. It's a very delicate, like a wrap. I don't think it's got any shaping. I think it's just like a, yeah, what I would call a fat scarf. Very, very pretty. Very, very fine, yeah. Then there's the Blocks shawl. Don't know why it's called Blocks, but that's that one. I think the book cost me about £16, I'm not sure. But they do give you a tutorial on how to do the block stitch, which I'm not going to show you, obviously. For various reasons. Then there's a Cindy floral lace skirt, which is nice if you're nice and slender and you like to wear, well, you would wear it over tights, wouldn't you, or over something. Obviously you wouldn't wear it over bare legs and a pair of briefs, would you, you know. If I wouldn't wear such a short skirt, and to make it longer you'd have to A-line it, wouldn't you? That again is another very fine top. It's a damask rose wrap. I do like fine work, but I don't like it when I'm trying to make it to sell it, because there's hours upon hours upon hours of work in one of those. They're very, very, very pretty. But would anybody want to pay, you know, the kind of price you would kind of be asking for something that fine and such pretty yarn? I mean, if they're in these hand-dyed yarns and that, you can be paying over £50 just for the yarn, without even starting to add anything on for, you know, for doing it. This one is the Diamond Dreams scarf. Looks a bit, no it's not though, it looked a bit Solomon's Stitch, but it's not. Now this book is probably something I would probably use for Christmas presents for my family or something like that. I doubt I'll be doing any of them unless they're thicker. That's a necklace. I've not actually done beadwork because I've been going, I tried it once, but you know, where you thread the beads on as you're going along. That's just a very plain shell pattern, whatever you want to call it. I don't mean a shell stitch, I mean the shell style pattern. T-shirty without the sleeves, yeah. Top over, whatever you want to call them. Vest. These are very pretty. Not very practical when it's cold, but they're very pretty. Fingerless gloves. That one is a flirt cardigan. I think it's got sequins in the yarn, I think. It's a number 3 weight yarn. My eyes are not working today. With my diabetes, sometimes I have fuzzy eyes, if you know what I mean. They don't focus very well, and I've not got my glasses with me. It's on a quite largish hook, really, considering it's on a 550, I think. Oh, Tunisian crochet hook, so it's Tunisian. Right, I'd have to practice. Oh, I forgot to show you, I did get me some new cords for those Denise crochet hooks, because the cords I had with my original Denise hooks just wouldn't unbend, they just stayed in that shape. So I thought, well, I'll buy some new ones. I've had this Denise crochet hook set for quite a long time. I mean, I did pay about £30 odd for it, but now they're 40 something pounds. So I thought, well, I'll get some new cords, but the cords alone cost me £20. So I better learn Tunisian crochet, otherwise I've wasted a heck of a lot of money. So yeah, that's the back of the Tunisian jacket. So hopefully I will one day learn Tunisian. I can do the basic stitch, but I can't get tension, but I've told you that many times before. That's a pretty shawl. Again, it's in 1 thickness, you know, thickness number 1, very, very fine. So it's something that you would do. It's on a 5mm hook though, but it's very, very delicate, isn't it? That's showing the front of it. What else have we got in here? It's all charted as well. Hourglass scarf. I mean, you don't have to be any size whatsoever, do you, to make that? But again, it's in a number 1 thickness, sort of super fine yarn. This one is again in number 1. It's called the Ice Silver Fox Sweater. Again, it's in very, very fine yarn. It's on quite a biggish hook, but fine yarn. That's kind of a Sue thing. That Sue likes things that are very, very oily and delicate. I prefer things a little bit more substantial, I must admit. This one is a lacy sleeveless cardigan. Well, we would call them a waistcoat over here. It's in yarn thickness 3. There's quite a lot in this book, actually. Most of them are charted, so, you know, if you're a chart lover, That's the Lotus wrap. Again, it's in number 1 thickness, super fine. Again, it's got a chart. This is low back lace top, and again, oh, this is in number 2, so slightly thicker yarn. So all you ladies out there who like your red heart, you're not going to like this book at all, are you? And that's the front of it. Nothing wrong with liking red heart, like red heart myself, but you would be wasting your breath with this book, wouldn't you? If that's as thick as you like to crochet with. This one's a Muriel lace cardigan. I'm not sure if it's in squares or not, whether it's just motifs. Let me have a look what it's... Oh yeah, it's in squares. The dreaded squares. Lots and lots of little squares. It's again in very fine, number 1 thickness. And yeah, it's done in squares. Let's show you the back of it. It's another one I will look at and pass by. Well, that's pretty, because I don't know whether it's done with different colours or how it's done with a new wave cowl. Oh, it's done like a zigzag stitch. Zigzag. Can't linger too long in case you can read the instructions. Optical illusion scarf. Now why it's called that, I've no idea. That's what it's called, optical illusion scarf. Number 2. Oh, quite thick. Number 2. This is a palmy cardigan. And oh, it's in number 3, this. Oh, whoopie-doo, girls. Number 3. It's quite a loose swing back effort. Possibly chunky, isn't it? Size 3. This looks like... Oh, yes, it is broomstick. Yeah, peacock lace shawl done in broomstick. I'm not keen on broomstick. I can't get my tension right. I always have these loops sticking up everywhere. Number 1, fine yarn. Ooh. Sea and Shells poncho. What's that one done in? I shall have a little look. Number 2. So once again, it's another fine one. This one's done in number 2 as well. It's a, I don't know how you pronounce that, Wiveline wrap. Eveline? Not sure how you pronounced it. Again, it's Tunisian. So I'd have to brush up my skills to do anything like that. A Ziggy vest. It looks as though it might be circular at the back, doesn't it? I don't know. I've not got that far yet. You're looking at this as much as I'm looking at this, because I haven't really looked at it much. Number 2. No, it's not a circular back. It's just... It doesn't have a back view of it, really. Let me see if there's anything. Oh. That is kind of sort of the back, yeah. But it's not. So I thought it was circular. It looked like, with the front look going like that, it looked like it might have been circular. Then this is just techniques, how-tos, stuff like that on the back. Right, so that's that. Now this came with one of the magazines I was going to show you, but I'm not exactly sure which one it was. It's just a crochet hook. It's done in solid, like solid crochet. You've got charts and everything on that blanket. It may have come with this, yeah, I think it may have come with this next one I'm going to show you, which is Simply Crochet, and it is issue 80. 80. I don't know whether we've got the pattern for that little animal, but here it is. You know what I mean? Amigurumis, don't let me swear. It's actually got things about Frida, like an article about Frida, I think, in here, Frida Kahlo. She seems to be all the rage just now, doesn't she? I've got a pattern for a big poncho done in a great big flowers, which I quite like, which is, I don't know whether I'd ever wear it or not. Plump up the volume. I don't know about you, but I've never really had the urge to make anything in this super, super thick stuff. You know, I've got this awful feeling it's like rolling and it might fluff up like mad. You know, when you're just making things. It's really, really chunky. All these things. I've got nothing else here. That's not in the book, that's a pattern. Just really a stripy scarf, isn't it, done in stitches. That's the jacket that's on the front cover, Technicolor Dream Kimono. Now, you know I like bright things, but for some reason or other I don't like that. I don't know what it is, whether it's the shape of it or what, but I'm just not enamoured with that at all. And you think I would be, wouldn't you? You think, oh, that's just Jan. She'd love that, but no, she doesn't. Just an article. Again, that looks like it's using super duper thick yarn, doesn't it? I know I don't like very, very thin yarn, but I also don't like massive, massive thick yarn. And I can't hold I can't hold a thin hook, and I can't hold a really big hook because they both hurt my arms. Oh yeah, Stuffed to the Gills, that's actually in the book. Amigurumi. Or toy, as we used to call them back in the day. Now that one, I quite like the style, but it's a bit too thick for me. You know, the actual garment itself is thick, isn't it? When you're a big size like I am, you don't really like thick, you know? It tends to make you look even more thick, yeah. I mean, it is a nice style, the tabard style, yeah. But it's done in Karen tea cake. I think it's tea cake. I mean, my eyes are fuzzy, I tell you. It's a side effect of diabetes. Sometimes I get fuzzy eyes. It's like I've got like Vaseline over my eyes. Putting the glasses on doesn't really help. That's obviously a pattern and advert, but I don't like the socks anyway. They look really thick and chunky and very, very uncomfy. Cushion. Enough said about that. Cushion. I mean, why would you crochet and put stripes down your leggings? You know, you'd never get them straight, would you? You'd have them all wiggly woggly. Tunisian, that's a wrap. It looks like a cowl done in Tunisian. Or Tunisian, if that's the way you pronounce it. That's dream catchers. I bought some embroidery hoops to make dream catchers, but as usual, never did them. Honey Monsters, baby's blanket. A Life of Yarn. I mean, whilst I do like things like that, I would never make them. I would just never be able to dedicate so much time to doing one project. I'm just not. That's like Crochet Your Own Delft Blanket. Again, I'm full of admiration for people who make these works of art, but it's sadly not me. I think a baby blanket's as big as I ever go. That's a square with a rose in the middle of it. Because I'm thinking of doing a different pattern, you know, for the pockets on that Frida Kahlo type jacket. I'm not going to do those massive, massive pockets that were on the other one. That's kind of using the stitch in different colours to make a blanket, or Afghan, or whatever you want to call it. Don't know what that's telling me how to do. Oh, how to felt. I just don't like felting. To me, that's like an accident when you felt something. Oh dear. Next issue. Do I really want to buy the next issue? That is horrendous, I'm sorry, but it's horrendous. I don't often say something is horrendous when it's crochet, but it's horrendous. There is no way I would be making that. If I want to make an apron, I'll buy one. That's doing different squares, I presume, in different shapes and sizes and whatever you got. Oh, my nose is itching. Am I going to get annoyed? Oh, that's showing you how you can do it in different shades. Now, I got annoyed in my last video, didn't I? And I've actually got that pattern. I bought that pattern. It's King Cole pattern. But I've never actually done it yet. I just thought it was a nice pattern and bought it on a whim, as they say. Now this next book is... I don't like this next book either. It's called Inside Crochet. And which issue is this? Don't know. It's the issue with it on the front cover. The reason I don't like it is it's all done in, more or less everything's done in super chunky. You know my feelings about that? I like things that are thick, but not for me to wear. I do not want to look any bigger than I already am. What are we doing? Oh, Kelly's got 2 videos up, by the way. She managed to stab herself in the hand yesterday, trying to defrost a homemade beef burger that she'd had in the freezer. So let's hope she recovers from that very quickly. She was doing what we get told not to do, using a sharp knife to get between the layers. Yes, but we all do it, don't we? We all do it. Right, these are all just articles. This is a scarf. Use this scarf to practice your mindful crochet techniques. Try a variety of stitches in your favourite colours. That's a good idea, isn't it, really? If you want to practice different stitches, just choose a basic shade like that's obviously blues, isn't it? Gather up your ends and start crocheting. And again, this is all adverts for different things. You see, I do love things like this, but I just would not have the patience to do it. I'd make a cardigan out of granny squares, I'd make a sweater out of granny squares. But to actually make an afghan is too much dedication. Right, me time crochet. See what I mean about super duper super thick? Yeah. Again, that's a pink cardigan, that's super thick. That one doesn't look so thick. They must have decided that pastel colours are all the rage. Oh, losing things. That's not too thick a sweater, but it's a bit sort of shapeless to me. Now that I would never wear in a million years, because it... Can you imagine the size of me in something that thick? No. Too massive. Too massive, as they say. That's back to normal, isn't it? Normal shawl. You see, now I wouldn't mind doing like a basket to keep your bits and pieces in something that's massive. Yeah. You know, I keep thinking I'm going to double up and treble up and quadruple up some of my yarns, you know, to make a nice big thick basket with handles on. These I suppose are home accessories. Although I can never really see much point in covering a jam jar with crochet. Unless you're going to make pretty night lights for a party or something and stick night lights in them and have them outside. Oh gosh, that is really thick, isn't it? That skirt shawl, so thick. Yeah. Leg warmers, I could do with a pair of those actually. That I don't like because it's all flopsy, isn't it? If you're going to put it on your wall, at least pin it so it's flat. That looks so droopy, doesn't it? No, I don't like. Don't really like this book, do I? No. See, that's that cardigan. It's so thick. Absolutely so thick. Same with this little pink cardigan. This little pink cardigan is so thick. You'd have it done in the blink of an eye, but imagine taking that to the post office and saying, what do you mean it's £25 to send it in the post? Because it's so heavy. This one says balloon sleeved sweater, and it is really. I don't think it's a very flattering shape. I've seen much nicer sweaters, so that will be on my no list as well. Now luxury leg warmers, they might be up my street just to keep me warm when I'm on my scooter. Because if I'm wearing one of my skirts and my boots, there's a gap, like sort of. I don't always wear tights if I'm wearing a very long skirt. Because I tend to layer up. I've got like, if I have one of my big gypsy skirts on, I've got one of my big gypsy underskirts on as well. So I'll layer up. So to put tights on as well when I'm in the house is a bit over warm. But yet when I go out on the scooter, the bottom of my legs get cold. Yeah, I'm sorry, that is just too thick, isn't it? Let me know if you would ever wear that. A loop stitch rug. I've done loop stitch, but in hats. Cosy bubble hand warmer. Filet tea lights. I'm sorry, I just really don't find them attractive. Covering one of your old jam jars up with covers. I could understand if you had a nice shaped glass underneath them, but not a jam jar, for heaven's sake. Earth tone blankets, again, that's super thick stuff. Oh, and that's what's in next month's crochet. And next month's inside crochet. Tumbling blocks pot holders, I've seen that before. That's been in one of their other magazines in the past. That must be running out of ideas, mustn't they? I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. Is it hug or hig or hig? Basket, yeah. I'm never quite sure. For those amigurumi lovers, a little robin. It looks quite complex for a robin, and it also tells you how to make the little nest. Crunchy tablet cozy. I don't take my tablet anywhere with me, so I don't need a cozy on it. And then we're at the hello hanging, which I'm sorry, you'd have to put a backing on it, you know, to stiffen it. You know, some really fusible stuff or something to make it stiff enough to stand up on its own on the wall. I wouldn't want it drooping down like that. And that's a wide scarf done in. I don't think it's the pattern, it's just telling me. My PC just went diddly-doo, diddly-doo. That's it, I think. That's it. Everything else is just telling me what to do. And that came with a booklet, which once again is super duper thick stuff. This came free with it. Really thick cowl. Oops, I'm ripping the book. I don't think they're quite as thick, but they're mittens. They're not done in super thick stuff. They're just done in ordinary, I think, then. God, that's a thick hat, isn't it? About 4 rows and you've finished it. It's like a tea cozy. What's that? Mittens. I've always liked this sort of design of stitches where they'd probably be very nice warm mittens because you've got a lot of stranding behind them, haven't you? But once again, I've no patience to do stuff like that. I'm getting old and crotchety, you probably noticed. And those are massive slippers. You know, cast on, chain on, 6 rows, chain off, you're done. I can't walk on them. Can't walk on anything like that. They make my feet hurt at the bottom. Oh my goodness me, they're fine, aren't they? Fair Isle gloves. Something in here is going and I don't know what it is. No doubt I shall find out eventually. My house creaks and groans. It's a very old house. It has a life of its own at times, and it makes some very strange noises, and you have to get used to them. Otherwise, you know, you go, what's that? So yeah. Well, the snow's all gone. Poppy enjoyed it a bit. My son's dog, she was rolling over and over in it. They'd been away for the weekend. They went and stayed in some kind of a shepherd's hut. And there's pictures of them like barbecuing outside on like a fire pit. And my daughter-in-law's there with a big coat on, a fingerless mitts and a hat on, like barbecuing on this like open fire pit barbecue thing. And I thought, that's some holiday, isn't it? But they enjoyed it, so what the heck. And so I had the dog while they went away for a few days. As you know, I love having my furry granddaughter. She's so pretty, so beautiful. And I mean, luckily I don't have a great sense of smell, because apparently she needed a bath, very strongly she needed a bath. And when they came in, they're going, oh God, we can smell the dog, she's terrible. And I'm like, what? What? I can't smell anything. Mind you, when my poor Buster was incontinent, I could never smell him either. You know, and everybody's going, oh, it smells of pee in here, you know, but I think your nose learns to acclimatise to it. So I'm going to go and sort out this colour that I need to find another colour, like for my yarn chicken that went wrong. And do a bit more on my ordered sweater, one of my last orders. I mean, one of my orders hasn't got back to me, so I'm hoping that she's changed her mind. She was one of my quibble ladies, quibbling about the price, quibbling about this, quibbling about that, so I've got my fingers crossed, hopefully, that she doesn't come back to me. I should learn to be more assertive and say, no, I don't want to do that. No. It's just not my style, not my thing, not doing it. Turn into a really crotchety old lady. Do you get that bit? Crotchety. As I've got older, I really want to crochet what I want to crochet, and that's very selfish, isn't it? Very selfish. It kind of doesn't matter if it's a saleable thing or it's going with the trends. If I see something I want to crochet, I want to crochet it. And that's what keeps me fired up, really, that I enjoy what I'm making. If I had to make like a dozen hats, all plain or something like that, I'd be thinking, oh God, I can't do this. I can't do this at all. Just can't. You know, I mean, many times, like, if I didn't have such a big stash, I've been thinking, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to give it up. Just crochet a wee bit here and there for myself, you know, and have done. But I've invested so much in my pension capital, like in building up my stash, that I've really got to get some recompense for it, you know. I did try selling some, but that was an absolute disaster. Because not only did I not get anything like what I paid for it, I also lost out on the postage and everything. So it cost me money to sell my stash. So I'm thinking that was such a bad idea. We're not doing that anymore. So that was the end of that. That's why I didn't do any more stash sale. I decided I would just keep it all and use it up for other things. So that's how I will go. So it's Monday and I don't know whether Sue's going to make it. I have no snow, but that's no saying that Sue doesn't have snow. Because I think I've told you before, she lives up in them there hills. And it's like a couple of overcoats colder where she lives. And she lives on a hill, so it doesn't help if it's a bit slidey. Because she's frightened. I mean, she has to go out to work, obviously. But she's always frightened of getting stuck somewhere if she comes to see me. Because I'm not kind of like a necessary journey, if you know what I mean. I'm not something that she has to do. Like, I mean, she has to go to work, so she has to go out for that. But I'm just a friend visit, aren't I? I didn't even go out on Saturday. My niece did my shopping for me because I thought I was having both of the dogs, but it turned out I only had Poppy. But my knee is actually recovering now after my sort of almost falling out the taxi on the way back from Bury. It was a proper taxi, you know, not an ordinary car that's licensed as a taxi. It was a proper high up big taxi. And when I stepped out of it with my good leg, I missed the pavement and went down onto the curb, went down onto the roadway, whereas my bad knee was still like in the cab, if you know what I mean. So my knee just went up in an angle that it's never been in since before I had my operation. So it was bent in a bigger angle, you know, like I was doing Keep Fit or something. And it just went, and something sort of seemed to give in it or whatever in my knee. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what have I done? And then for a week it's been agony. And then all of a sudden today it's been a lot better. I woke up when it was as stiff as a board. I mean, how can you have a stiff knee when it's a replacement knee? That's what I would like to know. Does it need oiling? Do I need a bit of WD-40 putting in it? But it was stiff, I could not bend it at all this morning. But after I'd hobbled my way downstairs and bent it, and it's been a bit easier today, so I'm, fingers crossed, grateful for that. Grateful for small mercies, as we always are. And I need to phone the pharmacist because I've actually run out of some of my tablets. Don't tell them, because I won't get them now till about Thursday, so oops. So I'll just have to hope my blood pressure doesn't rise. That's one reason why I'm trying to stay calm, because I've actually run out of one of my blood pressure medications. And another one for my upset stomach medication, so I really need to stay calm. So as I said before, Kelly's made 2 videos today. She's put those up. She's looking mighty fine in them and all. She doesn't usually wear nice colours, does she? Bright colours. She's actually wearing a lovely peach colour today. Really suits you, Kelly, if you're watching. You should wear more brighter colours. I have spoken. I have said. But I'm hoping, like I say, Sue will come sometime this week. I don't think I've got anything else planned, except I have treated myself to 2 more 3-tiered skirts. So I've treated myself to them, so they'll be coming in the post. So apart from that, I think I shall say goodbye, because I've not got a funny feeling camera might have switched itself off. Yep, there's the timer. It probably has switched itself off. If it hasn't, I'll say goodbye. Okay, bye now.